welcome to the Sigma Show, episode 117. I am your host, Sigma. Just before I let you know who's joining me this week, real quick, we're going to go over what our topics are going to be. Netflix has been, they had their Geeked Week not too long ago, and they basically released a ton of trailers for animated series, most of which are either anime or based on video game properties, and this has been a trend Netflix has been doing for a while now. So I kind of just want to talk about like all of their output and kind of discuss whether or not it's working for them. And other than that, some more sad news. Epic Games has laid off like well over 800 people, it seems like, roughly 16% of its staff. And there was a recent Forbes article that kind of tried to detail what the reasoning might be, and it could be, once again, the metaverse's fault. So we're here to talk with me about these topics. As usual, Frost.
You already know. You probably don't. That's why we're going to cover it. We're here.
And a new guest for the first time ever on the Sigma Show, Justin, a.k.a. Roninja from the Rusty Rupees. Justin, real quick, why don't you let folks know who you are, what you do on the internet, and why they should listen to anything you say.
I don't know about listening to everything I say, but hi, I am Justin, also known as Roninja of the Rusty Rupees podcast. I am the Green Rupee. Me and the guys, there are technically four of us: green, red, blue, and purple, and we basically talk about gaming, anime. We go to events like PAX and do interviews. And try to basically get our name out there and are really trying to just show everybody a good time and have a good show and want them to come in and kind of experience us as they would like best friends or family.
Nice. I'm sorry, because folks in chat were saying that there was an echo. Is it fixed now?
They say you're good now, yeah.
He's good now? All right. Yeah. Did you guys catch what Justin was saying? Because I hope the echo didn't screw that over.
Yeah. Also, sorry for the voice.
Oh, no. The voice is fine.
It's the morning voice. It's nice and easy to listen to. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
There we go.
All right, sweet. Yeah, thank you for joining us. We were also supposed to have Darren with us, who is the Blue Rupee?
He's the blue. Yeah,
right.
Blue Rupee. Yes, sir.
He may join later, not sure, but we'll see how it goes. But as we tend to do, we usually start these shows with kind of just a rundown of what you've been playing, what you've been watching, just any sort of media you've been consuming and feel the need to talk about. Anybody feel free to go first. Just not to put Justin on the spot. Frost, you feel like
you can put me on here? You can put me on here.
No, yeah, if you feel comfortable, yeah, go ahead. Let us know.
Yeah, you can put me on there.
Playing,
man's on action. Let's go. Yeah.
Man, I honestly, man, recently I've been playing Cyberpunk.
Yeah,
Cyberpunk
okay.
2077.
Did you play it the first time round or?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So so when it first came out initially, I didn't buy it because all the bad reviews, this, that, and the other. But a few months after it dropped, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot anyway, because like this game looks really cool. Like I'm a fan of how it looks so far. And so I played it all the way through, even with all the bugs and all the and as bad as it was at the time.
And what was your takeaway then? Like,
the game was great.
Okay, so you were like a fan even with all the.
Even with all the crap,
okay.
Even with all the stuff that was bad with it, the bugs and all the glitches.
Pre-Idris Elba, yeah.
Right, pre-Idris Elba. Right. Yeah, man, and like the action in the game, the story, just the overall character development that you were able to witness and kind of go through. Like I said, minus the bugs, all of that was fantastic for me. Like I had a great time with the game. And now with the 2.0 update and the Phantom Liberty drop, oh man, this game is just, if this game would have dropped when it first came, like when it first dropped, this game would have gotten like Game of the Year probably a few times.
Yeah,
like,
I think it was in the running like long before it dropped. There was so much hype around Cyberpunk, and honestly, that's kind of what dulled it for me. Like, cause like I didn't feel any particular way about other than the fact that it has a really cool setting. Like I really like the cyberpunk
Right.
aesthetic, right?
Yeah,
Like the
it's
character I
really
tried
good.
to make when I played it first time around was Major Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell, which cyberpunk did not let me do. Like it just didn't work.
Really?
Yeah, like because one, you play a named character and like that character has a story, and
Yeah.
like I was really off put by V's story in the game,
hmm
but like almost everything else around that was really good. Like I liked the NPC characters and their plot lines, uh,
hmm
but I kind of found the game overall kind of mediocre. Yeah, like
Really?
it wasn't like terrible or anything. I was
Uh,
playing on a Series X, so like I didn't have a ton of like graphical issues, nothing that like broke the game outright. There was bugs here and there, but
mhm.
overall I was like, all right, this is a good story. But as a game, it was kind of basic to me. But I also
Okay.
went back since the 2.0 update, and I am enjoying it a lot more. Like the
Oh, okay.
stuff,
Okay.
like even early on, because I haven't gotten super far in yet.
Mm.
But the stuff they let you do with the skill tree now, like it makes much more sense, and like you get perks that change the way your character behaves and abilities that they have like super early on, and that has been a lot more fun than my first time through.
Oh, okay.
So now I can better appreciate all the stuff that I liked the first time because I'm not being dragged out of it by like kind of boring gameplay scenarios. Like I'm actually being like a stealthy net runner type character now, which is what I
Yeah.
wanted to be the first time around. Like I can hack all sorts of stuff, make people turn around, choke folks out. Like I'm actually having a lot more fun with it than I did the first time.
Yeah. Well, so how far did you get during your initial run?
Oh,
Like,
I
how
finished
far in
it.
did you
I
get?
finished
Oh,
it.
you
Yeah,
did?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, so through all the glitches and all that too, you
yeah.
finished it. Huh. Okay. Say I was about to talk mad mess, but now I can't say nothing. I
Hold
can't
on.
say nothing.
Hypothetic-
I was about to talk
hypothetically,
mad mess. I'm like, how far did you
hypothetically.
get? He's like, I finished it. Oh,
Like your opinion means
oh.
nothing.
Now your opinion means everything.
But yeah, but no, I do agree. Like the 2.0 update has definitely changed that game for the better. So like, yeah, if anyone was on the fence about it, now would probably be a really good time to jump back in.
Yeah, and if you and I advise you if you had a previously made character before the 2.0 update, start over. Just go ahead and start over.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you have
CD
to.
Projekt Red did the same thing. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not sure if you have to. You don't have to delete your character like the character you created, but go ahead and start a new playthrough. Just it'll do you right.
yeah. Like I haven't regretted it. Like I was wary about that aspect as well. But as soon as I did, I was like, yeah, this is fun. Like I'm just
Yeah,
having fun.
it's such a good game, bro. Like that's why it's interesting that you would say that you were having fun with the game now, but when you initially played it, you thought it was mediocre. Because I feel like other than obviously they made changes over time,
Mhm.
but I feel like the base story is essentially still the same. Like V's story is still
No,
the
yeah, yeah.
same. It hasn't really
V
changed.
story is the same. It was V I had issues with, like
Oh,
just
V
yeah, V
specifically. Oh,
specifically.
okay,
Like
okay,
I
okay, okay, okay.
disliked the character I was forced to play as.
Oh,
But
I see,
like
I see.
I really did like the stories of everyone around V.
Right.
Like I
Okay.
thought that stuff was well done, but it's just like the
Yeah.
moment to moment gameplay just wasn't hitting, and like the only thing carrying me through was those other characters' stories, which is why like I made it all the way to the end.
Got you. Yeah, I see you.
This is some like old Bethesda versus CD Project Red, Skyrim, Witcher 3, where it's just like, if you didn't like being Geralt, like you weren't about it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
that makes a little more sense there. I'm excited though because y'all are saying it's getting better. I haven't played it because obviously the reviews at the start and all that crazy stuff. You can only experience a game for the first time one time.
Hmm.
So I'm
Right.
gonna wait till they fix this thing because I
Right.
feel like
Haven't you
now,
heard
like,
Idris Elba in the trailer? He says the game is fixed.
I mean, as soon as I saw he was coming through, I was like, that's the boy right there. That's my man's. It's like,
Right.
I don't know about this one, but yeah, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, man, it's a good time, and they've definitely made it to where uh, whatever your quote unquote class is,
Hmm.
because essentially you want to pick like a class, like something you're going for, like a way that you're trying to run the game, right?
Hmm.
And so like they made it to where you're able to really kind of hone in on what class you want. So like if you're going for like an assassin build, like they have ways for you to hone in on those type of like perks
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a real game now. It was good. Like I said, I thought it was before, minus the bugs and stuff. But like, it's definitely
Gotcha.
really good now.
And
Yeah,
yeah, I saw
like
some people in chat talking about Starfield's first hour versus Cyberpunk's first hour. It's kind of night and day. Starfield has an egregiously slow start that it like unless you were already signed up for the Bethesda experience, like I don't know if that's gonna pull anyone along for the rest of the way. That was very rough for me.
that's for space people, bro. I'm telling you that
It's for
it's
I
the
thought I was a
best.
space person. I
people.
guess
It's
I was
the
wrong.
no, like real space, not fantasy
No.
space. This is the best game ever made, but space is boring. That's what Todd Howard has taught me.
So he's like, it's for space people. It's for people who like space.
Yeah, with that whole like, oh, there could be something out there. Odds are there won't be, but there you'll find something.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
you're not waking up in wagons. You're not doing anything. You're literally at your 9 to 5. It's like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, rough. So yeah, is anything else, Justin, that you've been playing? Stuff you've been watching?
Street Fighter 6.
Yes. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you guys are like really big fighting guys, or is it just you?
No, it's most of us.
Most okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much the biggest fighting game player in the group.
Hmm.
I play the most fighting games overall. But every Tuesday and every Sunday we run Tekken Tuesday and the Sunday Street. So basically Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 6, and then
Right.
once Tekken 8 drops, we're gonna replace Tekken 7 with Tekken 8, and we're
Gotcha.
really excited for Tekken 8, man.
Yeah, like it looks cool. I've never been able to get heavy into Tekken.
Hmm.
Like I don't know
Is
what it is. Like they're like this is coming from a Smash player, so I know it sounds
okay,
ridiculous. There are too many characters, and I don't know enough about any of them.
that's fair. That's fair. No, there are always like even the roster now I think is going to be like 32 characters or something like that from Jump. So like yeah, I get it. Like yeah. But yeah, so Street Fighter 6, like I've always been a Street Fighter player. Like it was one of the very first games I grew up with was like Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Yeah.
And so
All right.
yeah, man. And then like, once I got a little bit older and CVS2 dropped and Third Strike and oh man, after that it was curtains.
Yo, who's your Street Fighter goat? The greatest of all time.
Oh, come
Question.
on. It's Daigo. It's Daigo.
It's the
It's
boy right here. All
Daigo.
right,
It's
we're on the
Daigo.
same vibe. We're on the
It's
same vibe because
Daigo.
he go
Like
from
no,
Turbo from the start.
hands
Yeah,
down, it's
like
Daigo.
I don't care if he never wins again. That's my
Oh
goat.
no, dog. It's just like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan, when he came back and joined the Wizards, he was trash.
Yeah, no
We
one
all
talks
know
about
this.
that. No,
We all know
it's not
this.
important.
Like exactly. But we also know that this man will forever be the GOAT.
Yeah.
Like
Fair.
yeah. So Daigo is that boy. At his peak, at his prime, you couldn't touch him. And
He was
that's all that
on
matters.
killers too.
At his prime, you couldn't touch him. You saw Justin Wong try. We all seen that moment over and over again. Probably that moment 37 has literally like exploded the internet on multiple occasions. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Not too long ago, there was someone was sharing like a alternate reality version of that, where somebody's
Yeah.
Chun-Li did it to a Ken.
yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I saw that. Bro, I love the fact that it's still going strong.
Yeah.
Like the FGC is pushing typically pushes these ideas and I love it so much. I love the fact that 37 is going strong.
So like so Street Fighter 6 dropped and you were all in. Like what?
Oh, all in.
So like you were big on Street Fighter 5 as well, right?
I didn't like Street Fighter 5.
Okay.
So I loved 4. 4 was
Four like
was
kind of like brought
amazing.
everything back, right?
Yeah, 4 was amazing.
Would you-
And then 5 I didn't. I had to because Street Fighter, but I didn't. Like I didn't want to.
This is the best guest you've had on here, Casey.
Hey,
saying, I
you
like
know
it.
what?
Don't
I'm here for it.
don't tell any of the other guests we've had on.
5, and then it was a little mixed with Third Strike, but we could respect it. But 5, it was more like, I guess, cause we're moving on. I don't wanna, but
Dude, that's literally all it was. It was everyone was hyped at the initial announcement, but then once we got it, we were like, "Oh, okay."
So I'm
So I
curious-
have to have this.
Yeah, I'm curious from your perspective then, since you stuck with the game. Like I took a huge hiatus, and like I've tried to come back with 6 and get like really into 6, time permitting. But from your perspective, like what has six like fixed in that franchise that has made it like kind of a return to form?
So six has essentially brought back the footsie game. Like like footsies now is very, very heavy in six. Like you almost if you don't have a footsie game, it will either force you to have one or you're gonna get blown up continuously. Like there's zero choice. And that's kind of what I enjoyed about like the mind games from like CVS2 and Third Strike
Hmm.
was like Third Strike was incredibly footsie heavy. And you essentially had to blow your opponent up and like and mess with their mindset the entire game. Like, oh, is he gonna go high? Is he gonna go low? Is he gonna throw me? Like, what's he gonna do?
Hmm.
You had to play that mind game. In five, you didn't really have to play that mind game. Like, there was so many other gimmicks that you can use in order to not have to play it. Um, but now Street Fighter 6 I feel like has brought that back true to form. Has definitely increased the footsie game and the footsie potential. And also it's just back to being a fun game. It's really back to being a fun game. Like
Yeah, I find
essentially,
it super fun.
oh yeah. Oh, who's your main if you don't mind me
uh,
asking?
I don't want to say I have a main because I am a scrub in Street Fighter Six right now, but I want to main Kimberly. But I've had a lot of success with not Menon, the I'm blanking Marissa.
Oh,
Ryu.
Marissa. Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
I've
yes.
had a lot of success with Marissa. So like I want to main Kimberly, but like I feel like Marissa is like connecting with me on like a deeper level.
So Marissa connects with everybody because Marissa is a character where the your opponent essentially beats up themselves. So Marissa is a very simple character in
Mhm.
all honesty. Like she's super simple. Like she doesn't have like really
Oh,
advanced combos. She doesn't have like you don't have to be super gimmicky.
Mhm.
She's very simple. And so what winds up happening is a lot of us basically have come to the notion that Marissa is so simple that like if you take your time with her, she's easy to beat. But if you over press or if you are being too aggressive, she has the ability to blow you up. And if she hits you, you die. So so like Marissa is one of the only characters other than like maybe Zangief that essentially with three button presses and a level three super, she can do about 65 to seventy
Yeah, she
percent of your
hits
health.
really freaking hard.
Yeah. So the thing is with that, because Marissa hits so hard, the opponent themselves has to be very careful with how they play her.
Hmm.
And so if you're not, you can get blown up really easily. And so that's why they say that Marissa is essentially a character where the opponent beats up themselves.
I get it. That makes sense.
yeah, I feel it. Hold on. Who was your main in four?
In four,
Yeah.
Ibuki.
Ibuki, he say. Oh,
Yeah,
you're one of
Ibuki was
those.
my baby,
Right,
bro.
I got you. I
But
got you.
to be fair, like minus her kunai mix up, I was a fan of Ibuki. I played her in Third Strike. She was my main in
Yeah,
Third Strike too. So so when they brought her back in four, I had to play her. And then when they gave her the kunai mix up, I was like, this is a bit cheap, but I'm not gonna use. Like like you gave me a very cheap mix up setup, but I'm not gonna use it. Yeah, and so like yeah, I loved Ibuki in four. Ibuki was very well done in four.
there we go. Is there anybody you mesh in six?
Um, yeah, Marissa.
Just Marissa as well?
Yeah,
Look at that.
Marissa.
You got a
Uh,
mentor, Casey.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be tuning in for some of you guys' Street Fighter
Hell yeah.
streams because I need to learn more. Like I really want to. Time is
bro,
the problem,
we'd love to have you.
not passion. But yeah, anything else you want to share? Like stuff you've been watching, maybe?
Uh, to be fair, I haven't been watching anything. I have dabbled into Lies of P, and I'm going to
Ooh,
be playing that a little bit more in the next coming days. But I dabbled a little bit into Lies of P, and that game is,
yeah,
bro.
I loved it. I had a great time.
Oh, you finished it already?
Yeah, I reviewed it for
You,
Escapist.
you
So
madman.
it,
Oh yeah, that's right. I need to read that article.
it I'm thinking about playing it again, honestly.
Is
like
that good, huh?
like I don't the thing is like
God, tell them why.
Oh no. Oh
I
no.
let him
I don't
let him
like
know what's weighing down on the
that.
soul
All right.
Mm-hmm.
It in my review, I state it took me 60 hours to complete that game. Every other review that I watched for Lies of P after the fact was like, oh, it's like a 30, 40-hour experience. I'm like, what the F took me 20 extra hours in that game? So I'm curious. I know that I got the secret ending because like the secret ending is stupid. Like it's freaking crazy what they put at the end of that game. So I'm wondering if other people played it a certain way because you got the lying mechanic where you can tell people certain lies and whatnot, and that supposedly changes the story. So I'm wondering if I played it in such a way that I got all this extra stuff at the end.
Oh, that other people didn't
Yeah, that
get.
maybe other
Yeah.
people didn't see because they played it a different way. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to go back and just pick all different answers and see how different the game is, if at all. But it could just be like the way I play Souls games in general is very stubbornly. Like if I come across a boss, I will beat it. Like I don't go grind. I don't go yeah, like I don't
Oh,
look for
okay.
cheese.
Right,
Like
right,
I'm going to learn its patterns and I'm not going to get hit. And that's how
right.
I come out on the other side. So that may take a bit longer than maybe other folks who are like going for like pure strength and vitality or whatever.
Well,
That's what I
health goes
did.
a long way, bro.
Right,
See,
for real. That's what I did.
you out here setting handicaps on yourself, Casey.
That's just how I play
Thinking
the
that
game,
thinking
man.
that
Like
we're cheesing. He
it
said,
doesn't feel
"Vitality."
it doesn't feel like a handicap at the time. Like the thing is I'll cheese a boss or like one of those kind of big miniony enemies. I'll cheese them the second time I come across them if I figure out how.
Right,
But
right,
like
right.
for the first time I meet an enemy, it's like I have to see what this fight is. Like I need to face this enemy head on to see what this fight is. Like I can't cheese it immediately. So like for bosses, it's like I'm just gonna fight you.
Yeah.
Did you play Sekiro?
Yeah, I love Sekiro. Sekiro's probably
So,
the best thing
so
they've ever made.
facts. Sekiro, great game. What was the name of the big fire enemy in that open area when you you leave it and you fought the dude on the horse there, but then so when you come back, the giant fire whip.
Oh crap! I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Eh, I'm blanking on his name, but yes, he's like a secret
But
boss.
right. So did you fight him?
Yeah, I fought him and killed him.
You fought him, right? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that
So
that was a vendetta type thing because our editor in chief Nick, he was playing through the game around the same time I had taken a break, and he saw that enemy and ran away from it, but then was talking trash about how he was the Souls champ at Escapist. So I had to boot it back up. I was like, all right, let me go find this boss and kill him, and then hold that over Nick's head. So that's what I did.
see, I
Demon of Hatred.
was.
Thank you, Sir George Lucas and Tyrell.
Yes,
You guys have
that's right.
the titles.
Yeah, Demon of Hatred, bro. I was a sad boy, so I fought him a few times and was like, yeah, no, bro. Like, and don't get me wrong, I love Sekiro. Sekiro, phenomenal game.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that monster and immediately said no, and found out exactly how to cheese him. I was not fighting that thing at all. I'm sorry.
No, it's a tough
That
fight.
thing was huge, I was trying to roll and just wasn't. I was trying to parry and wasn't like. I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. Not this fight. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, that's like that fight
That's
is
my
like
attitude
really
right there. Yeah.
that fight is really tough. But I still think the actual final fight, Ishin, like that friggin' 4-stage boss battle,
Mhm.
like that is the hardest fight in that game by far.
Really?
Yeah. Like the Demon of Hatred, like it
I
just
didn't-
takes time. Like you learn what it does, and then you can execute. But like Ishin,
But see,
is
that's
like
what I thought
a
about the
freaking
end
gauntlet.
too. Yeah, I mean, he was a gauntlet, but like after a while, I felt like like learning it, like his parry timing and things like that.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I felt like that became a little bit easier. That Demon of Hatred, bro. I just couldn't like, and my boys was like, "You gotta fight it." I was like, "I'm not fighting."
It's like, no,
I'm not fighting.
I'm gonna see this corner over here. Yeah, I'm gonna walk over here. The Demon Hatred's gonna follow me, and he gonna fall off this cliff here. And we good. That's
Oh
it.
wow. Oh,
Yeah,
there you go.
I
Yeah, see?
I cheese the heck out of that thing.
sometimes you gotta cheese.
I
Hey,
mean,
man.
that's what it is. Y'all see this as a fight. It's not a fight. They're trying to kill
See?
me. I'm trying
Thank
to kill
you.
them. That's all it
Thank
comes down to in
you.
the end. If
Right?
they want to fight, Make a better arena. Make a better mechanics. Like they say, get good my skill level. Get good your game design.
Get good, your game. Don't put me in an area that he can fall off the cliff on. There, out of there.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, that's how that goes.
But yeah, thanks for sharing. Any Frost? Anything you want to share in terms of like games you've been playing, stuff you've been watching?
Well, I do. You know how I do. I write. I take everything in, and then I like not burn out, but I like kind of just crash for a week. So all I've been doing is rewatching Numbers. I don't know if you guys remember that old show.
Oh, I fucking
Numbers.
sorry. I love Numbers.
Yeah,
I love Numbers.
What is
Numbers was
what
my
is Numbers
jam,
about?
bro.
I don't think I remember what Numbers is.
My dude, you can leave, Casey. Nah, so Numbers, you know the like procedural detective shows, right? So we're
Sure.
talking like, and that can be like House, Lucifer, old school CSI Miami, all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. But this whole thing, there it is. Is just the main guy is he's like a prodigy, just a math prodigy, and his brother is a police officer, and he's like, I can't really solve this case, and he nerds out on it. He's just like, yeah, but like based
I
on
can
the
solve it
algorithm
with
of blah blah
math?
blah. Yeah,
Yes, actually,
Yeah,
yes.
that's it.
Wow.
Actually, yes.
and it's super interesting, and it fits into my whole thing of like I like dysfunctional detectives because the thing that makes them good makes them socially awkward.
Yeah, that's
And
a
that's
big
his whole
TV
thing.
trope. Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorites is when he's showing down with there's a serial killing sniper, and they get a Lou Diamond Phillips to come in as a sniper trainer, and he's like, your math is good, but you haven't lived, so you're not gonna be able to until you shoot a gun. And he's like, I don't need to shoot a gun. What do I need to shoot a gun for? And then like that just breaks him down. Where it's experience does
Right.
trump just numbers, and each one, as much as it is about the math, is also about like the humanity behind them, and just
Yes.
procedural goodness. 44 minutes. I'm not paying Prime to an extra $3. I'll be ripping sit-ups during the ads. So I'm watching Numbers, and I'm getting my summer bod. So that's
Nice.
what I'm doing.
Hey, okay, yes, sir.
So does you starting Numbers mean that you finished Suits? Like, did you get through all of it?
No, I just alternate Numbers because like Suits is new to me, right? So I'm taking new stuff. Numbers, I've seen it before. It's just a quick
okay. Like a
rewatch.
rewatch.
Nothing, no
Gotcha.
big toll on the brain. Yeah. Just
How far into
hitting
Suits
the
are you?
news. Suits, I think I'm about to come off of season 1.
Oh, good.
Really? Oh
Okay.
my god, my fiance's in season 5. Like, I'm not
I
watching
bet,
it like
yeah.
linearly. Like, I'm coming in and sitting down next to her wherever she's at because she's just binging like crazy, and then she just catches me up. Like, oh, this happened then, and this happened then.
Oh,
That's
so
how I'm
you haven't
watching
seen Suits either,
No.
bro. Let me tell you, man. Suits, like, so I was there when Suits first dropped, right? And so being like in the legal field already, like Suits was just right up my alley, bro. And so like Mike and how his brain works and how he's able to like deduce things and his photographic memory, bro, they make him so suave. I hate it. At the beginning.
I'm telling you, Casey, it's for people who wanted more of that Tony Stark and
No, yeah, it's
Peter
exactly
Parker
that.
mentorship.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
That was a good comparison. That was a good comparison. That was a great comparison.
Even at the start, he's like,
Bro.
and that whole like, I'm not your dad type beat. But it's
Right,
like, come
yeah,
on,
yeah.
come on, man.
And that is a very good comparison. I didn't even think about that. That's very good.
It's great stuff. I like just be loading up on this. I don't know, wholesome detective procedural.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for? Easy
Hey,
watches.
man.
Yeah, that's
How about
definitely like kind of just junk food TV. Not that it's bad junk, but like it's very easy to just watch a ton of it.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh, absolutely. And as far as like games go, been taking it easy. What did I do? I played a bit Cocoon.
Okay,
But
nice. Yeah, I finished that recently.
Yeah. I'm not even to the point where I would give it any sort of review. I just like it's nice. It's not. It's interesting to see a follow up from the guy who uses monochrome. So it's like, oh, you can do colors. All right.
You can do colors.
Yeah. So yeah, that's been a light week for me with that because mostly like just cooking and stuff.
Nice. What you cooking? Anything new?
Pasta.
Anything brand new?
I've been seeing too many TikToks about this grandmama who makes her own pasta, and I was like, I'm gonna try that.
Don't all grandmamas make her own pasta?
That's what I always thought.
Yeah, but they're not all on TikTok.
True.
That's fair.
That is also true.
All right, that's what's up. Does that do it for you? You have
Yeah, that's it for me.
I kind of want to ask you a little bit about your weight loss journey, brother. How's that going?
Let me see here. Let me see here. A lot of it was, well, before the weight loss journey, there was the weight gain journey, and we were coming off a pandemic, right? But during that pandemic, I was getting ripped. I was bulking, right?
Uh-huh.
I hit 240 pounds of beautiful mass, and
Yes,
then I
sir.
sat on my ass for too long, and that kind of, kept the weight. A lot of the muscles started leaving me. So
Mhm.
then, but I was also moving across the country, and the way I landed here in Oklahoma, and then dating my girl, that new relationship weight
Oh,
was
bro,
rolling in as
you
well,
right, you
right?
right.
I like you
She start
fluffy.
feeding you. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah.
start feeding you. Yeah,
Our feeding you, having a good old time, showing me the ropes and all that kind of stuff around
yeah,
here.
yeah.
And then, yeah, no, so I was like, okay, I got to do something about this. But we kind of work a bit sedentary, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah,
And so it's been more about getting active and all that kind of stuff, but also using, like these kinds of TV shows that during the intro, during the ads, during whatever, I'm just ripping, right? I'm just out
Oh,
here.
okay. All
I'm
right.
just like, yo, as many push-ups as you can in these 30 seconds, as many sit-ups as you can, planks for the whole thing, pull-up bars, that kind of stuff. But yeah, no, it's been going well. I think I'm just hitting, like, I'm 28 now. When I was younger, I liked, like at 20, it was all about just power and just straight up power that you could maintain all the time. But now I'm matured a little bit and going, let's go for calisthenics, a little more flexibility,
Yes,
because
yeah.
sir.
it sucks to be buff. You go up the stairs and you're out of breath.
I hear that. Nah, I
Well,
hear, oof,
all
I
that
hear
muscle is gonna start weighing on your knees. So
Yeah, it does. It
that.
does. All that muscle, like you start getting really rigid tendons. You be
Yeah.
yeah,
popping. You waking up, everything's popping. Yeah. So I'm down to like 195 now.
Hey.
Good. A lot more flexibility. Feeling great. I'm
Yes,
feeling great.
sir.
nice.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
That's a
Thank you.
big drop, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
for real.
Like I don't know why I've always been like one something five, but like as I get older, like that number just goes up and stays there. Like I was like 165 like as a teenager, 175 in college, 185 post college. And I've been 185 for a long time now. I was 195 for the longest, but that was because I wasn't doing anything. I was like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
working all the time. I'm not as active as I used to be. I hit 200 on the dot and was like, ooh, this doesn't feel right. So I've been exercising. Like I've been trying to eat slightly better. Like I've been going to the gym on a regular basis. I'm going back to martial arts classes on a
Hey,
regular
yes, sir.
basis. But I will. I my body refuses to drop below 200 now.
It's about your food too, bro. It's
I
Yeah,
about
mean,
your food.
I'm sure it is, but I'm not gonna not eat the
yeah,
food I
right.
eat.
Like
Yo, it's
macros,
hard.
macros,
That is the
sure.
hardest thing.
The
The
laws of
food is the hardest thing.
thermodynamics. Yeah.
The laws of
The
thermal.
laws
Hey,
of
man.
thermodynamics, bro.
Hey, man, like at my biggest. I mean, and I love that you guys about your weight and the fact that you guys are all under 200 pounds. I love it.
I mean,
I
you're a
love it
big
so
dude though.
much. I mean,
Now,
yes.
now, yeah, I was 5'10", 240. That was a wall, bro.
Yeah, you were a bulldog, bro.
I was a tuna can. It's like, yeah.
Bro, like at my biggest, I was 305.
I mean, but you
And
got
that was
height. Like that doesn't look the same.
How tall are
I,
you?
I'm 6'3".
These guys.
You saw what I mean? Like this is a
No,
football player.
hey man, look. I'm not gonna say I didn't look like a football player, but I didn't feel like a football
Yeah, I'm with you.
player. Bro, like I was going upstairs and like my knees was cracking, and then like you said, like you get up the step, and like it's not a good time. But yeah, man, I'm down to 270 right now,
Ooh, I
and
get it.
solid.
Nice.
What's your routine?
So I do. So me and a few friends have started this routine about a few months ago, and basically we do full body splits. So we
Ooh,
go four days a week,
Hmm.
and we do one exercise per body part.
yeah.
And what that allows us to do is it allows us to hit the like all the different parts of the muscle every week, not missing anything, and it allows us to maintain a certain amount of balance, body balance, because you're not pushing on one day and pulling on the other, to where like now that you've pushed that day, all your muscles are being pulled forward from the push. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So ours, we get a full body balance. So we get both push and pull. So the muscles, I feel like they kind of go into more of like a neutral state instead of like one muscle pulling on the other.
Oh yeah.
Opposite.
Yeah. That's a big thing because I used to not have that balance, and like my glutes were out of whack. I was having ankle pains because my glutes were out of whack. I went to the physical therapist. I was like, "Doc, I'm gonna have to cut this leg off." And he said, "No, bro, you don't have an ass." And he did this thing to me. All right, so they sit you on this stool, and while you're sitting there, he grabs your leg, and he said, "I'm gonna push on your leg. You gotta resist it." Right?
Right.
I was doing that, and he said, "Damn, bro, you are like the strongest person I've seen in here." But then he's like, "All right, now I'm gonna pull, and you gotta hold," and just like, whoop, just went straight up. And I was giving it, I was gunning it, and it just went. I had never felt so. I don't know what I felt. I was like, I tried so hard, and I could not resist the pull on that. So he's like, "Yeah, you got no ass." You gotta balance it up.
He said you got all thigh, no butt.
Yeah.
So I diagnosed you with Taylor Swiftism.
Yeah, no ass
Hey
at all.
yo, not to. Well, no, the what is it? The Miley Cyrusism.
Oh God,
Oh.
yeah, pretty much.
That's unfortunate. Yes,
Y'all remember when she was twerking on stage in that leotard?
I tried to forget. Thanks for putting it back in my brain.
You're welcome, brother. Hey, I had to.
It was raw chicken. I'm doing the meme.
Bro, I hated that so much.
God, that's got to be like one of the top 5 most awkward things ever on like an MTV video music stage.
Absolutely.
Lampy says it's been nice knowing you. You just pissed off the Swifties. I always piss off the Swifties. I very much dislike Taylor Swift's whole thing.
Oh,
So
now you're just a
I
hater.
don't care.
Oh yeah, now you're just a
Now you're
hater.
just a hater.
I'll be a Taylor Swift hater. I don't care.
Oh no.
Wait, so is it the music you hate, or is it just like
it's the music? It's like the super fake persona because like I don't like her music per se. She's a super generic pop artist. But like the thing with pop is like it has to be catchy. It has to be something that sticks in your head. And she does have songs that do that. So like I'm not gonna say like she's a bad pop artist,
right?
but I don't think she's that good. Like she's definitely not as good as all the hype around her. This is gonna get to a real whole other thing if I keep going down the rabbit hole. But there's very much a hint of white supremacy in Taylor Swift's popularity.
Oh Lord.
Like Taylor Swift needs to be this big a deal because she is always being compared to black artists and being held to the same standard of black artists. If you look on Twitter, there's all these people trying to say Taylor Swift is XYZ better than Beyonce. And it's like no one was talking about Taylor Swift over in Beyonce's camp.
Yeah.
Swifties stay trying to bring Beyonce into this competition.
I feel like Twitter just made you bitter. And it's that algorithm, my friend.
But it's been long before that. Like this started as soon as she won that award that Kanye took from her. Because that was the reason she won that award over Beyonce then.
Yeah.
And she
won it
shouldn't
over
have
50 Cent.
Yeah.
50 Cent.
My man didn't get an award. That was the biggest freshman album.
He said, forget Beyonce, 50 Cent. Like,
50 Cent did not win anything, and he should not have.
He did not win anything.
In the club at the time, hottest thing.
I mean, he's not wrong. In the club was the hottest thing.
Think of it this way, right? And I know this is a tangent, guys. I apologize. Remember when Macklemore won Best New Artist over Kendrick?
I remember that. Yeah.
Hey, look,
this
man,
is the same thing. This is the same thing, except they needed Taylor Swift to validate that egregiousness because like they're like, yes, we did that. We gave this white lady an award over this black lady because whiteness. But they had to keep pushing her to make sure that stuck. They're like, oh, we're justifying it by all her record sales, by all her tour. Like, so they're constantly on this hype train for Taylor Swift because they need to justify that injustice. And I'm not buying it.
Oh, I see what you mean. See, I think it's just she's super marketable. It's like when people were saying The Rock is the biggest star.
So is white supremacy.
Oh well, yes, it is. But I mean, like annoying fans are annoying in the way that's like The Rock's the biggest star, and he was literally making more money than anybody else in a given
Yeah.
year. But
hmm
what were your big movies, right? Where's your big movies? And that's why he's a little bit pissed. Then we get Black Adam, and now we try to pretend like we don't like The Rock like that. You know?
And you
Well,
see,
that's
he's on his
because he did
apology
Black
tour, right?
Adam.
Yeah.
Well, it was more than just him doing Black Adam. It was him doing Black Adam, and then him trying to like usurp the DC universe, and like
Fast and
people
Furious.
start reporting like, "Oh, The Rock is hard
Yeah,
to
like
deal
what
with. He
is?
wants to be the star. He got kicked off of Fast and Furious." It was all this negative press. He's on
Yeah.
an apology tour now. He's hanging out with Oprah. He's like, "Hey, let's give money to."
Oh
To like he's
no.
giving money to the striking actors and writers. He's giving money to Hawaii Relief. Like The Rock is on his apology tour. He's fine. He's gonna sell the XFL to the NFL. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
Bro,
I just see fans and haters. They're both annoying.
bro, I heard, and I don't know if this is true, but I heard so The Rock and Vin Diesel have specific contracts in which they can't lose fights.
Yeah, they have to
And
trade
so,
like an even number of punches or something.
yeah. And so I'm like, bro, come
Yeah,
on,
that's really
dog.
sad, honestly.
That's really like I want to be such a boss in these movies that I specifically write in my contracts that you cannot make me lose fights. So when they had the fight between The Rock and Vin Diesel, they went into a stalemate because they can't lose fight. I
It's childish. It's
yeah,
childish.
it's so childish. It's so childish. But I did hear that The Rock unfortunately was a bit difficult to work with. So
Yeah, it seems like they have pieced that up from what I hear.
yeah.
Like he's gonna be
Mhm.
coming back, but I don't know.
Didn't
I do hope
didn't he
it
go
was like
back
a
to
wake up
wrestling
call.
for a sec?
Say again.
Didn't he go back to wrestling for a sec, just like a few
Yeah.
weeks
Yeah,
ago?
like again,
Mhm.
he's like The Rock knows he messed up. Like that. This is kind of the thing I like about him. Like, yes, he was getting very big headed and like was overreaching, I guess, for some people. Like he just wants to be a big superstar. I don't take that away from him. But like he's realizing that the public has turned on him. So he's like, all right, let me get
He
back to
got
my
there.
roots.
Yeah.
He got there. He was a big superstar, but what he wanted was prestige. Because
Yeah.
even though he was the biggest, he's like, I don't have a Rocky. I don't have a Terminator.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
I don't have none of that.
Because I felt like The Rock was overall in terms of stardom was pretty big. Like
Yeah.
I didn't really feel like he needed to push this envelope. You know what I'm saying? I felt like because he was The Rock, people were naturally going to give him spots anyway. So like, because Black Adam was a no-brainer. I felt like The Rock for Black Adam, I felt like was a huge no-brainer. But
It sounded great on paper, but
bro, it sounded great on paper, but man, ooh, that process. DC, I love you, but your movies is I just
Lampy says he'll always have Scorpion King Frost.
He'll always have Tooth Fairy.
hey, hey, look, I enjoy Scorpion King.
Yeah, that movie, that was not a bad movie.
I like the
No,
little
I
stuff.
enjoyed it. I enjoyed Scorpion King.
I was about to watch Hercules yesterday. He was in a really
Oh, the
bad
Rock
wig.
version?
Yeah, yeah. So that's why but people are dogging on him for live action Moana. But I'm like, I liked Hercules. He plays
But
he
But
plays
also
goofy
live
demigod.
action Moana, man. Like Moana's not
Yeah.
old enough to need a live
He didn't
action
have
yet.
to. He didn't
Yeah,
have
that's
to.
crazy that they went to that this quickly.
Yeah. Like
Live action Frozen is next.
stop.
Look,
Stop.
I said it here. Let's
That
just wait.
still
and
has
see.
more time in between though.
You
That
think?
true. And
Like,
and hopefully they get somebody who can sing this time, because when they had Emma Watson play Belle in Beauty and the Beast, I'm sorry, baby. I love you, but you cannot sing. You cannot
said,
sing.
no, Hermione, get out here.
No. Man, you can cast those spells like nobody's business, but girl, you ain't got no voice. Sit down. Sit down.
Oh man.
Unfortunate.
But yeah. Oh, sorry. We got way off tangent. Sorry. Frost. Does that do?
Yeah, that's why I've been watching the waste. Yeah. So what you been doing, Casey?
Yeah. For me, mostly like review stuff. So like I did finish Cocoon. Wrote up a review for it. The game's out already, so like there's no embargo right now.
Game
I
Pass, too.
really enjoyed it. Like it's from Jep Carlson, who like Frost said did Inside, did Limbo, and it actually feels kind of like a different thing than those, as opposed to a lot of the other spin-offs from Playdead, I believe. Was it Playdead?
Mm.
The previous studio? I'm blanking.
I'm bad at remembering studio.
But yeah, like
names.
there were like two main guys who did like Inside and Limbo, and what the other guy went and did Somerville, right?
Okay.
Which I also played, and I did not like that game at all. It had all of the feel and tone of like an Inside and a Limbo, but none of like the actual like interesting gameplay elements. And Cocoon definitely seems like, okay, so this was the gameplay guy. This guy knows how to build like a puzzle and like make it super compelling. But story wise, like everything is visually interesting, but I don't know what that narrative was supposed to be like at all. Like I didn't get like any sort of over overwhelming sense of like why this character I'm controlling is doing this, or like why the stuff around is happening. But
What did you feel?
confusion.
That sounds facetious, but that's kind of the thing with Limbo. Like there's no story. It is
No,
this
Limbo
overarching
has a
sense of
premise, right? Like there's a little boy and he's trying to rescue a girl. Like they set that up at the very beginning. Like his sister or whatever
That's fair.
is
That's fair,
snatched
yeah.
away by that crazy looking spider thing, and then he's on a journey to go save her. Right? Like it's a premise. Like it's
Fair,
not super
fair,
deep,
fair.
but it's a premise, and there is a tone and feel after that. Cocoon just starts weird. Like it's like a very alien world. And I love that. Like I love its visuals. I love how alien everything feels and looks. Like that game has doors and bridges and levers that just don't look like any doors or bridges and levers you've ever seen before. But it's like, but because it's so well designed, like it all makes sense in the context. It's like, okay,
Right.
this path is open to me, so I guess I'll go in that direction, even though like it looks crazy. And like the main thing in that game is the you jump into and out of entire levels, and like they basically you leave behind like kind of a globe, like a little orb of the level you were just in, and you can pick that thing up and take it around and use it as like an object in the environment. And those orbs will get abilities, so like a Metroidvania almost. You'll get new ways to traverse new areas because now you have this world in your hands that lets you do things like teleport or create like a platform while it's in close vicinity and stuff like that. And it feels a little gimmicky at the start, where it's like, all right, well, this doesn't really add a ton, but that changes near the end of the game. Like,
Near the end.
yeah, the game's not super long though. To be fair, it's not super long. It's like at most 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
Okay.
But like, yeah, but in that third half of the game, you start to really see how crazy like that world hopping and stacking mechanic can get, and like that was like when everything really came together. Like it was fun before that, like, but it did feel kind of novel. But then it's like, all right, now it's hitting the brain muscles.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah.
So like, yeah,
felt
I
it was a
really
lot of
liked it.
setup. Yeah.
But yeah, outside of Cocoon,
Would you recommend it?
I would 100% recommend it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's like $25 right now, so like it's a little pricey for the length. In all honesty, like I'd be
you
more
got-
comfortable with like maybe a $20 or $15 price tag.
If you got Game Pass, it's on that.
Oh, and it's on Game Pass. Yes, it's
Oh,
on Game Pass.
well,
So
There you
there
if
you
you
go.
have Game Pass, you should definitely play it. Like, there's no reason not to.
Also, people should just get Game Pass. Just
Yes,
stop
please.
playing.
Guys,
and get Game
stop
Pass.
stop doing it to yourselves. Just get Game Pass.
Dude, I'm literally playing Lies of P and I didn't buy it. I just have Game
there
Pass.
you go.
Hey, look at that. Yeah, I was did Short Hike, Celeste, Venba, Liza P, and it still just keeps Starfield's on there. Like
That's
Man,
true.
Man, have you guys played Sea of Stars? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
Casey.
started it. Yeah. No, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say because man, Sea of Stars, Jesus, Sea of Stars. Please go play Sea of Stars,
wow, you found somebody who loves it more than Nick. That's crazy.
bro. Like, because like I said, I'm a bit older. Like, I grew up in the late '80s, and like, man, it just brings me back. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they were going for, right? Like they wanted
yeah,
to hit that era of JRPG.
and man, oh, does it not? It on, bro. It not only hits it, it sits so well. Like it just like snuggles its butt in a crevice, right? You know what I mean? Like it just sits so well, bro. And like man, please go play Sea of Stars. It's such a good game.
Yeah, I want to get back to it. That's on my back catalog. I started it, put like maybe three hours into it.
Yeah,
Okay,
I gotta
okay,
give
so
it a
it's not
go. What you call it? They had me play the demo. Bad demo. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, really?
Bad game. Demo was just bad. Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
just kind of threw
That
you in there
happens.
and nothing going, and that's kind of my shtick is I do a lot of the demos. I see what's coming through, and I not rate them, but I'm sort of like, all right, here's how you could have made a better, first impression.
Yeah.
This is not an end all be all, but just understand that people are gonna look at this and just like take away that impression. But yeah, Sea of Stars, bad demo. I've been hearing great things about it. I've been
Yeah,
hearing great.
it's definitely a 10 out of 10 in my book in terms of gaming.
Nice.
There we go.
But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything really I've been watching other than One Piece. And I think the answer is
Yes,
no. I think
sir.
the answer is no. Yeah, I'm not gonna keep talking about One Piece because I'm just catching up. Like, I stopped halfway in the Kaido arc. I watched the One Piece Red movie because
Okay.
like where I happened to stop, they played the 2 filler episodes,
Mm.
which were setting up that movie, and like I usually skip over the One Piece filler. Like I'm like I don't got time for this, but like
Yeah.
I had come back and just fell into it by accident. I was like, oh, this is not what I was watching. This is filler. I was like, all right, well, they asked some questions that I was interested in. I was like, all right, let me go find out what this mystery is. I watched the movie. Movie's great. Movie's
Movie's great.
fantastic.
Movie's great.
I really, really liked the Red movie. So
Yeah.
check that out. And I might actually check out some older One Piece movies now because like I was legit just if it wasn't full confirmed canon, I did not have time for it.
You should.
You say that, but like their filler is like a streak of 5 episodes at most.
Yeah, like it's not
And they're
very
pretty
long
good.
filler, but like
Yeah.
I still didn't care. I was like,
Right.
this doesn't add anything to the long tail because I started One Piece years ago. So like at the time I was like, I don't need to waste any time on not catching up. Like this filler is not helping me catch up.
Right,
So
right.
that's just been my mindset. But like now they're like, okay, I'll catch up and have to take a break to let more episodes build. Maybe now I can start enjoying some One Piece filler, and I won't feel so like set back by having to sit through it. Especially since this was good. Like the two episodes that they set it up for are actually not good. Like they're like they're not interesting episodes. It's just
Yeah.
setup, but the movie itself is really good.
Yeah. But see, I love the movies, but I hate the fillers. I absolutely hate I cannot stand the fillers. I refuse to watch, and this is what made me refuse to watch fillers. We were leaving Fishman Island,
Mhm.
right? And so in the manga, they go into Punk Hazard. They just pop into Punk Hazard, right?
Mhm.
In the anime, they pop out of the sea and meet a giant that ate the mini fruit. Why? Just why?
Yeah, it's just killing
Just
time.
why? Like, and I was watching it and I don't like this. I just was like, I don't like this. Like, I'm never watching filler again. This is dumb. I hate this. I don't want.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
I
But
always give it a try.
the
just in case.
movies themselves, I may
Yeah, the movies are
I
clutch.
may give them a special pass.
You should actually go and watch all the movies. They are fantastic. They are absolutely fantastic. One of the movies is cool because it has like a little Easter egg where the One Piece Pirates, or sorry, the Straw Hat Pirates play a game of baseball. It's clutch.
I feel
It's-
like
it's clutch.
there are a lot of anime series that will randomly have the cast play baseball.
Yeah,
For some reason.
baseball's huge. Baseball's huge in Japan.
Yeah, that
man,
is true.
but
Even
Yeah.
Twilight did it. Yeah, we all do this.
Stop. We don't talk about Twilight. We don't talk about Twilight. Stop.
It's time.
Stop.
It's time.
Stop. No.
Twilight did it.
No.
It's
There's
not-
no
Do you
need.
think Twilight will get like a
reboot?
yeah, not
Like
a
a
reboot,
remake?
but like
There's no way you could because the whole like they never age. Well, you clearly aged.
You've clearly aged.
Yeah, that's why we don't reboot vampire stuff. It's usually
This
newer
is-
vampires, not the same ones.
I like you, bro. I like you. You took the lore to the extreme. I like you.
yeah, that's how
You've
dedicated
aged.
they are to the craft. It's like we can't do this again, not with these same actors at least.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
gotta be a different thing. Yeah, that was a good
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for what I've been playing, etc. We can get to our first topic. Like I mentioned earlier, Netflix they had their Geek Week thing. It's sort of like their version of like a Comic-Con type deal, where like they spend like a whole week just unveiling new things coming. But the geeked stuff is always specific to like nerd culture. Like Netflix has been on this train of really trying to capture like that very nerdy video game anime watching crowd. Like they have tons of adaptations. One Piece is an example of them, right?
Right.
Like they're making live action versions of anime, and then they're turning video games into animated series. So I sent a list of like all the things I think that they announced this past week. So I'll read through the list real quick, and then you guys can just let me know if anything on this list like speaks to you, if you're really excited about it, or if you think that maybe it's a problem that they're going to try and adapt this thing, or just any other immediate responses. So like we have Castlevania Nocturne, which already released, I believe. Like that's out already.
Supposedly it's hitting.
Yeah, I've heard good things about it as well. We're getting a new Devil May Cry anime.
I did see that. Yeah.
There's a Tomb Raider Legend of Lara Croft show coming. Sonic Prime, which I think already existed as well, or was that a different show?
I think that was a different show.
Okay, so maybe this is a new Sonic series. Captain Laserhawk, which is the Far Cry Blood Dragon series, right? Like it's based on that Far Cry 3
Oh,
DLC, but like they're making a whole series based on that, which okay, that came out of nowhere.
Hey man.
Blue Eye Samurai I've not heard of. I think that might just be an anime thing. Pluto also I don't know much about. But then we also have Masters of the Universe Revolution, which I think is a sequel series to the previous Masters of the Universe, which I've also heard good things about. And
Same.
my dear favorite, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, the animated series based on the movie based on the graphic novel.
Yes, sir.
That's the one.
So yeah, anything here speak to you guys first off?
I'm kind of hoping Devil May Cry hits. I'm not gonna hold you.
Were you aware that there was already a Devil May Cry anime?
Yes,
Did you watch that one?
I did.
What's your take on the previous Devil May Cry anime?
S I didn't like. Okay, I didn't hate it.
You didn't hate it. Okay.
I didn't hate it. I'm not saying it was good. Well, I'm just saying I didn't hate it. Because at the time I was really into Devil May Cry, and so like anything DMC, I was kind of like, yes, gimme, gimme, gimme.
Right.
So it was like I said, it wasn't good, but neither were some of the games. So I'm not gonna hold.
That is fair. Like I didn't watch all of it because I was put off very early on by like how bad / boring the anime was. But I also did not play the games. I'm a big Capcom fan. Like I know a ton of their franchises or whatever, but I'd never played Devil May Cry itself before trying to watch that show. So I was hoping to maybe get some insight into what Devil May Cry is as a series, and I was like, this is boring.
No. So you should not watch that anime if you're looking for anything like that has any consistency with the Devil May Cry series. Like you should not watch it. Just like it. I watched it, and once I finished, I realized, oh, this was just a good time. That's it. It wasn't meant for anything more than like doing Dante being Dante and doing flashy stuff and them trying to be cool. Like it wasn't good, but it was them trying to hype on the franchise or get a hype off the franchise with like an animation. That's literally all it was. Yeah.
So this actually seems like a very different take.
Yeah.
Like Devil May Cry hasn't had like a new game in quite like 5 is not super old, but it's definitely not recent.
Right.
But now it has an animated series attached to it. I'm curious, what do you think this show could bring to maybe fix some of what was wrong with the last one? Like is there anything you hope to see this do?
If they're continuing it off of DMC 5, or basing it off of that, then I'm hoping it'll have more of a storyline, like something that we can hold on to, other than just Dante out there just beating up demons. Like
they showed like a very tiny snippet of like the animation style of DMC.
It looks good. It looks
really cool.
It looks really good.
But I will say it looks like a super young Dante.
Yes.
So like in 5 he's got like a stubble and stuff, right? Like he's an older guy by 5.
Yeah.
So like this might just be like the start, like whatever the hell Dante's beginning stories are. I'm assuming that's what this series would be, based on just that look.
So it's essentially like a retelling of the original of the beginning story. That might be.
Yeah, I don't know.
That might be interesting. Like, and I mean, and the cool thing is if this actually takes off and they're able to act, like you said, depending on where they started,
Mhm.
they could essentially like kind of go through maybe all the games like animated wise. That might be kind of interesting too.
So like you've played all the Devil May Cry games,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
assuming. Do you believe that the story in the games is worthy of like a TV animated series? Like, do you think it could hold its own as like a story without the gameplay attached to it? Because I feel like
It,
this
it
is an
would
issue a lot of video games tend to have.
it would definitely need some tweaking.
Hmm.
But I think it could be done. It would definitely need some tweaking though. But I think if they kind of streamline some things, put a little bit more backstory and other things, like yeah, I think they essentially could do it.
Okay,
I
yeah, I
mean,
mean,
I think we've gotten worse though too. So.
well, that is absolutely true. That is very true that we've gotten worse. But yeah, any thoughts from you, Frost? Like, have you played a lot of Devil May Cry? Are you into this anime adaptation?
Uh, Not as much as I should have because I do love like old hack and slashers
Hmm.
because I don't know, just that gratuitous fighting, the crazy power fantasies. Like I'm all about it, and if anything, I feel like they are better suited for adaptations. Uh, Given like throw a bit more story, but yeah, that flashiness like that you see when you play, you want to see
Yeah,
it visually as well. You're like, oh yeah, it's that for the thing
yeah,
that I
Exactly.
did.
yeah.
Hell
That
yeah,
level of action can definitely translate in an anime
for
in
sure.
particular. Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, it translates super well with the same experience. I'm more so seeing it like the volume that they're placing out here. It's interesting that they're just kind of like, I mean, I'm here wondering like, what's the budget, right?
Uh
It's
huh.
sort of like, well, like Hollywood. They make tons of horror movies a year, and they may not all be the biggest quality, but it's because it's more budget, and one of them could pop off, and
Right.
that right there just covers the entire thing. So I'm if anything, I'm kind of enjoying this more so. Like even if Netflix, if we were to say cynically, Netflix isn't giving it the full respect, and they're just kind of like, here's a little bit more of that thing, right?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
prefer that over this whole like I just fired half of my studio and I'm putting everything into this. Like
I
I
can't be mad
appreciate
at
this.
that.
I
Yeah.
appreciate this more than just the other stuff. Because even smaller things like Ed Runners was popping off, even though Cyberpunk may not have in the public eye, right? It's still like kind of nice to have them together.
Hmm.
Same thing. The Witcher got the little anime thing for a moment, and it is just more of that thing you enjoy. It may not progress what's already there,
Hmm.
right? But it's just more of that thing that you love. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
just transmedia. Like, dude, we're just gonna flood the airways from every avenue with this brand, and whether you play it or listen to it or watch it, you're gonna know it, right? Like that's kind of
Right.
the
Yeah.
goal for some of this stuff. But I mean, I will say, I honestly feel like Netflix, for all the flack people give them for like always trying to do an adaptation, I feel like they continue to try. Like it's like, okay, we did a thing, it was bad, but they haven't just given up. They're like, all right, let's try another one. Is this one better? Right? Like we
Right.
got Death Note live action, and everyone was like,
Ugh.
good God, no. And then they did One
So,
Piece, and everyone was like, oh, okay, this is all right. We like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, sorry, so do it more like that versus more like what you did then. And I feel like they're
Right.
doing the same thing with these anime adaptations. Like we got a lot of really good ones. Arcane, folks were in love with. The first Castlevania series is great, and Nocturne seems to be continuing that flow. So like, yeah, I'm on board with them just trying more and more animation in general. And the, I gotta say, I don't have any faith in the Tomb Raider thing
Not
because
at all.
I'm
Not
like,
at all.
why?
oh boy.
Not
Like
at all.
Tomb Raider and Lara Croft, like it's a series that is video game royalty, and but like I feel like what is that franchise right now? Like it's kind of just this.
I thought it died, honestly.
Like I feel like the part of the reason it popped off is because it was mixed in with Angelina Jolie in her
Well,
prime.
yeah, no,
Right,
because
yeah.
that was Prime Tomb
When it
Raider.
first,
Yeah,
when it
Tomb Raider
first came
itself was
out.
Prime. Angelina
Yeah,
Jolie was
1 and
Prime.
2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like boom, boom. Now it's just,
they keep trying to
kind
bring
of
it
its own
back. Like
thing.
the Crystal
Yeah,
Dynamics
why?
trilogy apparently did very well,
Yeah.
but I thought that first game was like real boring.
I did too. Yeah, I did too. And the movie wasn't really good
Yeah, the
either.
movie wasn't great. It was okay. Like I won't.
Yeah,
I won't
it
like
was
harp on
okay.
it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah,
fine.
yeah, yeah. It was okay.
It was almost a shot for shot remake of that first game. Weirdly enough, So it was just as good as that game, which we just said it was.
It was
It was
just
just
like
not
mints.
that good.
Yeah, it was
So,
mints. Yeah.
so I don't know. Yeah, it's like I don't know what the cachet is of Tomb Raider outside of it just having a legacy as being a big video game
Yeah.
character. So like I don't know.
Well,
Maybe this might redefine Lara Croft. Maybe this will be the thing that makes Lara Croft big again because it
But I
hits
mean,
a mass market audience.
they've been redefining Lara Croft for a while now.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
What is she
because
now?
remember, Lara Croft used to be the huge chest, thin waist. Now she's tiny and stealthy. Before she
Uh-huh.
was ta 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 ta. So it's very different how they're making Lara Croft from like when I was growing up to like
Uh-huh.
now.
Yeah. They've changed. Like she was like an '80s action star, right? Like
Yeah,
back
exactly.
when
Yeah,
she
yeah.
debuted
Yeah.
in the '90s or 2000s
Yeah.
or whatever. And now they're trying to make her a little bit more nuanced. But like I'm trying to think
Yeah,
of
we
an
need less
equivalent. Like,
nuance. Absolutely. Less nuance.
less nuanced.
Less
Yeah,
nuanced.
I generally think so because I think you hit on that. Like it was '80s, is because Laura Croft, like maybe the direct comparison isn't so relatable, but it is around that time of like, yo, we're getting like Mission Impossible, and that's the answer to that
Uh-huh.
stuff. When I had, it was like, yeah, let's see big action.
Yeah.
See, like
Let's see
Rachel just
big
popped in
action.
the chat says, "I heard Lara Croft." So like that's she's answered our question. That's
So
the
she's the
reason.
audience.
Right? Yeah.
She's the audience. Gotcha.
Like Rachel, if you could share with us a little bit, like big Lara Croft fan. Is that is that what we're hearing here? Because we're sitting here thinking like I don't know who the Tomb Raider Legend of Lara Croft animated series is aimed at, and it might be Rachel. It might be Rachel's
It's
demographic.
Rachel.
Or maybe it's kind of like kind of maybe they're trying to put out something for the younger generation of ladies, something that kind of like
Mhm.
kind of like the whole Wonder Woman thing, like
Sure.
up to that's also like action pack, so it's not just a male MC, you know what I'm saying? They're kind of using Croft as the like their female protagonist.
That's a good point. That's actually a really good point. Which is also kind of bad on the other hand. It's like, is this like after all this time, this is still the only like well known female video game character that they can bring in to sort of
Right.
include that audience and
Right.
appeal to that demographic. Like it's still just Lara Croft. Like we haven't
Right.
created any more recent characters than this. Like I get
I
it.
mean-
Like that makes sense what you guys are saying to me now, but it's
Yeah.
also making me think, damn, y'all kind of effing up.
Yeah, because in my mind, I'm like, I don't know any like action packed, female pro tag other than like Wonder Woman. Like I said, like
Like
Laura
Netflix had an
Croft.
awesome She-Ra animated series.
Yes,
not that long ago.
Yes, I did hear that was really good.
It was fantastic. And hold on, Rachel in chat is very much telling us that she is a Lara Croft fan. She says she even cosplayed as her.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna need to see that cosplay, Rachel, please, and thank you.
For
We're gonna need to see that. I had no idea that you were that big a Lara Croft fan.
I mean, even when I was growing up, I loved the Tomb Raiders movies,
Uh-huh.
one and two. And granted, two wasn't as good. I felt as, but I mean, I still was a huge fan of the movie, one and two.
Yeah, I
Or
like
maybe
her.
I was just a fan of Angelina Jolie. I don't know.
I mean that too.
There might have been some bias there. There might have been a bit of bias.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have sold me. Like I get it now. I get why this
Yeah.
is on the lineup.
Yeah,
But
There
also
you
shame on you, Hollywood.
you're right, for real.
Yeah.
I mean, but I feel like they've tried a few times. Like even I was even thinking about it with like ScarJo and like Lucy, like where like they had a kind of
right, yeah.
a powerful female protag. Like they've done it a few times,
I mean,
but I don't think
that's
any of
more of
it.
I feel like that sort of thing, because like they keep doing this with ScarJo. Those are just Scarlett Johansson vehicles. Like they're not trying to build like a new character. You know what I mean?
Right,
This is
right.
just let's put
ScarJo
ScarJo
in
in a
here.
movie again and sell a bunch
Yeah.
of movie tickets.
True.
Yeah,
Back
for
right there
real.
where Halle Berry is Catwoman.
God.
Oh,
They were-
wait, I love Halle Berry, but you use Halle Berry as Catwoman? Oh no.
No.
They
Oh,
remember
no.
they were trying to give Halle Berry both a James Bond spinoff when she was a Bond girl
That's right.
in one of the James Bond movies. That never got off the ground. And they were also talking about giving her a John Wick spinoff when she was like some side agent in the John Wick series. And that also never spun off. This is another hot take for me. I don't think Halle Berry is that good an actress.
I don't either. She's beautiful.
I mean, and that's kind of her whole deal, right?
Yeah.
Like, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
She won a Razzie. How could she not?
But I'm saying across the board, not just in Catwoman. Like, just Halle Berry is not a good actress.
Yeah.
Period.
I'm trying to think of what movie that like I really like felt something from her in.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Monsters Ball. There it is.
Yeah, she won.
Monster Ball.
She won her Oscar from Monsters Ball, right? But but there's a reason why. Like
What?
the role she plays in that and the
What?
scene she wins.
Oh.
Her and Billy Bob Thornton. You seen Monsters Ball?
Yeah,
right?
I seen it. Once you get your award, bro, that's it. Like Nicolas Cage, you know he's an Academy Award winner. He got that shit early, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm done."
Yeah, hey, bro, my boy Nick has been in every B movie ever. That man,
He just loves acting.
Yeah, he does not turn down a role, and the thing is, I'm not mad because some of the movies that he's been in, I love. Like Next, I love Next. I people rag on Next so much. I love Next.
Yeah, Nicolas Cage still going strong.
Yeah, he's still doing
My
it.
boy, I never stop believing. National Treasure 3, here we come.
Hey, 1 and 2 were clutch, man.
Real quick, I just want to address Rachel. No, we were not suggesting that Tomb Raider is the only female-fronted action game series. We're just saying it's the only one that seems to have this level of mainstream popularity, which is why it keeps getting like movie/TV adaptations, because they're like, oh, what's something that we can appeal to a female audience with, and they go with Lara Croft because that seems to be the only name that has that level of fame attached to it after all these years. That's what we're getting at.
Yeah, the notoriety for Tomb Raider and Lara Croft is pretty big in the world.
But yeah, okay. Anything else from this list that we want to get into before we move to our final topic?
No. Yeah, to me, overall, it was just the number of things they presented.
Yeah, it's just a lot, and
just
very
like, how much
specifically
is this?
targeted.
And they've been doing really good though. I feel like now, like listing. Like I don't know if you guys have seen like King and Ashra.
Sorry, say again. You cut out.
King and Ashra. Sorry.
King
and Ashra.
Yeah,
and Baki.
Yeah,
bro.
Baki.
If you are looking for hands, my guy, like
I don't watch those. Well, King and Ashra is a little different. I don't watch Baki for hands.
Really?
What do you watch it for?
Yeah, what are you watching for?
Baki is hilarious. Like Baki is a straight up comedy. Like you cannot take that shit serious.
Now it is
from the beginning, fam. Like
he gets his powers from losing his virginity while his dad's watching.
Thank you,
bro.
Thank you.
Hey, no. And see, this is why I say I don't appreciate your outlook on Baki, because I'm telling you, if you didn't get a power up the first time you got some, sir, that is real life.
I got a nap right afterwards. What I got.
Hey, but when you woke up, you felt something, didn't you? Like
I feel like
you felt more powerful.
I need to leave before somebody show up. That's what
I'm ready to beat some ass now. After I just beat some ass.
Bro, he went outside after he got some and just wrecked those two dudes. Just wrecked them.
That show is straight up ridiculous, and like it knows it.
Oh yeah,
and that's what kept me hooked, to see just how outrageous they will go. But like I don't find the fighting itself to be the big draw or all that interesting, honestly. Like that show was very strange.
That's what I'm there for, bro. It's just
King and Ashra is if Baki took its fighting seriously. Like
Absolutely.
King and Ashura is
Agreed.
also kind of over the top with its whole
Yeah.
premise of like, oh, this is what a man is supposed to be, blah blah blah, right? Like
Mhm.
they're in that territory, but it actually takes its fighting aspect and like
More
them being
seriously.
warriors like way more seriously. Baki, it's all a joke to them.
Bro, I honestly, when I saw the clip of essentially two uh two battlers having a bite off, I'd cut it off. I cut it off. I couldn't do it. Like and don't get me wrong, I love Baki. I love the original. I
Mhm.
love how Netflix did season 1 and season 2. I got to, bro. Why? Just why? I understand like the premise in Jack's head, but like and don't and like you're right. Like Baki is way over the top. Like King and Ashura is if you had to put King and Ashura at 100, Baki's at 2.
Yeah,
Like it's way over the
it
top.
is madness.
But like you said, it's quirky. It's definitely wild enough to keep you interested because you have no idea what's going to happen next. Even if you thought you did, you have no idea.
I know
Yeah, and I see
that's
some
what I'm
folks said that
about.
the stream died real quick. Yeah, it like did like a real refresh,
Yeah.
but it seems like it's back now. So
No. I mean, you say it doesn't take itself seriously. That's what I'm there for, bro. Like
Right.
they got
yeah,
muscles on muscles on. Nothing about them is serious.
yeah.
Absolutely not. I love like that was probably the sickest introduction of the characters where I'm like, why are these guys so damn strong? That made me want to go to the gym. I was like, Jesus Christ, there's monsters out here. Like
Hey, I know one thing I will say about King and Ashura, bro. That announcer is clutch. I love the announcer so much. Like she makes you ready for these fights, bro.
You get
Like
you
when
hype.
she, yeah, like when she announces like the names of the fighters. Like man, I want her to announce every time I enter a room. For real.
I was just making a sandwich real quick.
I'm just making a sandwich.
He's eating bad cheese from the bag.
Oh man. All right. So we'll move off of the Netflix anime and video game properties topic, and move on to something a little more dour. As you mentioned earlier, Epic Games has laid off. Uh, the number keeps changing. I've seen like 835, seen like 875. It's somewhere just shy of 900 employees that Epic has let go from across several of its studios. 16% of its entire staff is what is being said. And this has come after a full year of just several other video game studios and whatnot also having layoffs. It's unclear exactly why everybody is so gung-ho about this other than capitalism and, needing to always have higher and higher profits, and they cut costs by cutting people most of the time. But like this seems especially strange from Epic Games, as they're the makers of Fortnite, one of, if not the most profitable video game franchise in like the last 10 years. So I found it interesting. Like I wasn't gonna even have this as a topic because I'm like, this is just sad news. But I came across this Forbes article that was essentially blaming this on Epic's aspirations on creating a metaverse and investments that are aimed at having them become like a big metaverse player, and that those have not paid off well, and therefore they've lost a bunch of money, which resulted in like this mass of layoffs. And I'm just curious. I hope you guys both were able to read, the stuff that I put in the run of show, and I'm just curious about your takes on like what's being suggested here. Like, does this sound like a viable reason as to what this is, or wild speculation? Because
Yeah,
I'm a
I'm
little.
writing
I don't
I'm
know.
writing a cold take on it
Oh, okay.
because what ended up happening from the business point, like how is it that these people can make billions of dollars and they still like they're losing money? Is because as soon as they get that money, they just go ahead and spend it into something else. These 16% that were laid off were very specific jobs, and the jobs were about the development and the growth of the metaverse, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
And it basically just went. Epic Games did a oopsie by buying into their own hype. It was during the Ninja with Drake, Travis Scott, Juju,
Mm-hmm.
all of that, and then also the massive crossovers of Thanos, Goku, and they're like, yeah, we are this big and we can go bigger. and that's where this went. What that should have been was like, and it's in a blasted pandemic too. Like, come on, man,
Uh-huh.
that should have been marked off as abnormal growth, abnormal and unsustainable growth. You give everybody a bump in pay, keep that money, and then once you fall off, which you inevitably will, you still have your employees, you still got them experimenting so that they can look for the next game. Like before Fortnite, there was that Fortnite build off, wasn't good. They were doing Paragon before that. That game's dead, right? So
Yeah,
they
yeah.
they were experimenting and they got lucky, but they've at some point were like our success and our luck and our hype. Nah, it wasn't luck. That's me. I got that dog in me, and I'm gonna do it again. But when they couldn't do it again, it's like, all right, we're gonna have to lay off these people because they did not really hire or fired like like coders and programmers and
Yeah.
all that stuff, and they're still hiring for those jobs as well. So
Yeah,
this is a
that was
massive
another strange thing that
overcorrection.
they said that they were still hiring despite
Yeah,
how
for
many people didn't lay off. So you when you looked into this, you're saying like a big portion of those laid off were specifically developing like metaverse
yeah,
esque.
there were there's a lot of PR, a lot of marketing, a lot of future projection planning, that kind of stuff. It's not
Hmm.
just like oh, I literally code for Fortnite. No, it's just a lot of stuff, a lot of like for
Wasn't
excess.
I'd heard that a good amount of, and I apologize because like this was something I saw early today, so I don't have the link
Oh,
in the run. But I had heard that there was talk that a significant portion of the Fall Guys dev team, who Epic owns, were hit by this.
that's wacky. I also don't blame it because that got boosted during the pandemic as well.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the problem is a lot of these companies bought into the abnormal growth that they were having and were like, oh, we can keep it going. But no, like you should have just taken that money and seen it as a bonus instead of like I'm going to just keep on building my business on this. And that's the problem because even in this industry, we keep telling them stop overreaching. Stop just chasing the next big thing. Stop
Right,
overreaching.
right,
Hmm.
right.
Well, Epic Games did stop, and that means that they had to cut off the access. It's always a travesty when people lose their jobs,
Mhm.
but this is like that side of that. If they're going to stop overreaching, there's going to be a lot of people who get cut off when the doors get closed. Now, bittersweet silver lining, sure. The thing that I guess if you want to still be pissed off, right? We can't be too happy nowadays. If you still want to be pissed off, is that they're not going to learn their lesson. If they ever do get another
Oh
hit, they're
yeah,
going to
not
do
at
this
all.
again. And
Uh-huh.
Oh
like
yeah.
you shouldn't have been hiring these people to begin with.
Right.
There's a difference between never been born and getting murdered. You know,
Mm,
Right.
yeah.
so like that's the issue right now.
Okay.
I actually
Interesting.
I have a question for you guys though
Hmm.
too. Because during the pandemic, the metaverse talk was huge.
Uh-huh.
Like it was supposed to be like the next big thing. Like, you know, everybody was talking, hey, I have an avatar, like VR is gonna be good, the metaverse is gonna be great, like it's gonna be huge. So like if Epic essentially like saw an opportunity or what they felt was like an opportunity and so decided to take it, like do you think it would have been different, say, if the metaverse actually like took off, you know what I mean? And so like they didn't necessarily have to lay off all these jobs because of the fact that the metaverse actually took off, and you know they were kind of the forerunners on this new avenue, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I feel like it was more because of the fact that the metaverse didn't take off and that like everything kind of went back to and so the metaverse kind of died a bit, which potentially could be why this all happened in plays. You know, they kind of like you said, they got overzealous for us, like you said.
Problem is, if the metaverse had taken off and they did make more money, they would have overreached again elsewhere. It's like you just keep
Yeah,
going and keep
probably.
going and
Yeah,
keep going.
yeah,
Eventually, 16%, you would have lost them anyways. Like
yeah.
it's
Eventually
just
down the
inevitable.
line.
With everybody,
Yeah,
every company's success, they eventually overreach.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
but it
yeah.
would have just been a little bit longer though, right? Like they would have
Oh
they
yeah,
would have been
yeah.
employed for a bit longer.
For sure, but it's about I'd say around 5 years or so is like the standard for a big rise. Like nobody ever expects a plateau. Nobody likes hearing that.
Right.
Their accountant, they're like, how much did we make last year? 3,000% increase in profit. Well, that's what we're operating on now as normal, right?
Oh,
Um,
right, right,
so
right.
CEOs are odd in that way because anytime there's a dip, it's like that's just abnormal. right?
Right.
We're gonna flatline back out. Like, don't you worry about that loss. But if they get a huge like loss, it's like, oh, we could fund our whole future on this.
Mhm.
This is normal for us
This is
now.
the new norm now. Right,
Yeah,
right,
so
right.
Yeah,
that's just a lot of that wackiness there.
it, I'm. This makes a lot of sense in that, okay, they invest heavy in the new thing that's supposed to be big and coming up when they can because they have the money to do so.
Hmm.
It doesn't pan out, so they have to cut back in that particular
Right.
area. Sure, but like you're saying, if the metaverse had taken off, that this would have still happened at some point down the line because they would have continued to reach for the next thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure that
Think they would have
makes.
stopped?
I don't think they would have stopped, but like if they continue to be a success, like why does this story have to inevitably always end in cuts? You know what I mean? Like in layoffs.
They're not Nintendo. No, like there's just two kind
No,
of
for
different
real.
No,
mentalities.
no, yeah, okay.
You
Yeah,
you
no,
either
for
do
real.
this for 5 years, milk the cow, and then butcher it, and then you're out, right?
Mm-hmm.
You made your money, who cares? Or you do have this sense inside of you of like you want a long running legacy. Because even in Phil Spencer's emails, he was saying a lot of the people that we're working with, yes, this will make you a lot of money right now, but then you have nothing 3-5 years from now. And
Right.
so you have two different kinds of businessmen kind of clashing here.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Epic Games kind of bought into the whole like the people that are selling you on your own hype, they're like, I'm out in 5 years, dude. I'm gonna make some money and then I'm gone. Whereas the other ones, they have to like stay there and dealing with it. Now, they did have reason to believe it because if you go into looking at those 16%, a lot of it also had to do with they were developing their own like game engine to sort of compete with, not compete, but in the way Roblox, has a game engine
Yeah, like
system
Fortnite
that
Creative,
can work.
whatever. Like, yeah, all that
Yeah.
stuff got made. Like, that's all
Yeah,
in
that's the stuff
Fortnite
that
now.
they're
Yeah.
pulling back on. Yeah, because they were. I don't know when the last time you guys played Fortnite. It's more of a social space than an actual game.
Yeah, that's how my son plays it. Is he's in the creative modes. He runs around just fooling with stuff, and
Yeah, like I
they.
play with Will. If we got 4 of us, we're playing the game.
Mhm.
If there's
Right.
more of us, we just like get these. I don't know. It is a hangout spot where
Yeah.
we're not really fighting or nothing. It's just like this whole thing.
And the problem is,
And-
like, how do you monetize that, right? Because that aspect is social, but like you're not like, it's not a mall. Like you're not making
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
purchases or being charged for
No,
your
we're not
time
doing
there, right? Whereas
Yeah, you just said that.
the battle pass, which you earn whatever from, is from you actively playing like the game part.
Yeah.
Like I'm
So-
gonna buy this battle pass and then I'm gonna play the game so that I can unlock the stuff on a battle pass. Like that actually makes them
Right.
money.
Yeah, so like that is a hypothetical in itself. Like, what if the metaverse did take off? Would they have been fine? Well, I feel like the way they've been approaching metaverse is just the wrong way. I think you got to approach it with technology, not so much social kind of
Oh,
space,
yeah.
because that's kind of how PCs, like PC gaming, took off more. Is that more people were buying them for work, and from there it's
Mhm.
like, well, I got
Right,
this thing, I
right,
might as
right.
well try some games out on it, and that's sort of how it went. This sort of multi-purpose thing. But yeah, no, I feel like that was mostly inevitable, and I would like to think 16% gone, and you're going for that net zero hiring that you're talking about, where you don't hire
Right.
more than you need,
Mhm.
and you're just kind of doing your own thing. That would be nice, but I feel like they'll do it again. If
Yeah.
they ever hit big, they'll do it again. Yeah, no.
I mean, yeah, folks got to keep up. Like I don't blame them for betting on and investing in the metaverse because everybody was doing it, right? Like
Nah, they
Facebook
still-
lost billions of dollars for trying to build a metaverse, and like, they've not given up, but like they lost a lot of money, and they
I blame
also
them
had
for
a
that.
ton of. You blame them for that?
Yeah, you see, I don't blame them for thinking it could have worked. Nah.
I mean,
you
how-
need to talk to like a 12-year-old. They could have been like,
I don't
that's
know-
whack
I don't
and
know that
cringe,
that's-
Grandpa.
I don't know if
That's
that's
wacky.
that
That
easy.
sounds
to
mid.
We're gonna take all our corporate futures advice from.
A 12-year-old.
Yeah.
If you're trying to build into the social and cultural space, you better be tuned into it. Yeah, I want to see a
man.
12-year-old on that board. Just be like, this is whack.
Hey, put a check mark on what you like and put an X on what you don't.
Yeah, exactly. And they're like, nah, this
Oh
is
man.
goofy. No, because
I
like,
don't
let me
know.
tell you a quick story.
Mhm.
Steve, Blues Clues, right? They
Yeah.
were interviewing, and they're like, all right, who do we want to be for Steve? And there was this really really hot dude that was connecting with the older ladies, right? But the kids didn't like him in his audition. They were just sitting the kids in front of the TV.
Uh-huh.
But because Steve was being like, "Can you help me?" and like really like making it for the kids were
Yeah.
slamming on the TV, and they're like, "Right there, right
Yeah.
there."
Yeah.
But all the businessmen, all of them wanted the hot guy because he was
Uh-huh.
more
Yeah.
marketable, and
Yeah.
that reached the wrong audience.
Right.
Like you, if you're gonna be targeting that demographic, you need to have something that reflects that demographic.
Right.
And I guess like
So
I hang out with people that are of varying ages, like older and younger than me, and like the way they were going about metaverse was cringe.
but I mean, I'm like, how would you get that information to them? Like, because this doesn't exist, right? Like, would you strap a bunch of headsets on these kids and be like, hey, how do you feel about this? Because like there was nothing there, right?
Right.
Right.
Like this was doomed. Like this sort of thing was doomed to fail because like they were chasing an idea that didn't seem to be fully thought out yet. They're like, the concept of a metaverse is cool, but like
Right.
Facebook is like, all right, have your meetings in virtual reality, and it's like, why?
Right.
Yeah, like,
Right.
like there's no
Exactly.
reason for this just yet. So like, I feel like it's the implementation. I don't think the idea was
Yeah,
bad
no,
because like yeah,
that's
we
what I'm
were
saying,
like
though.
during the pandemic, especially, we were in a world where like, we're stuck in a house. Like we might never see our neighbors again.
Right.
So like
Like
it seemed like this is a good fail safe should we come into a situation like that again. But like there wasn't enough groundwork laid, I feel, right?
absolutely.
They try to appeal too much to the casual side of things when they should have been going for tech, because
Hmm.
you, like you said, a virtual meeting space. So like right now, our editors at Escapist, Adobe has this thing where they can all kind of be in the same editor at the same time.
Mm.
Like expanding that to a virtual space so that literally it's not just like, oh, we're on Discord, but it's more like, look at this graph and I'm like augmenting all this shiz real time, right? Like
Hmm.
look at all this kind of stuff. That's what they should have been developing. And then
Yes.
as that stays there, as it catches on, then you gamify it. Then you can like
Right.
casualify, make it easier for the rest of the audience.
I do feel
But
like that could
also,
work the other way though.
Like what you mean? Like
Like,
first, if it's first it's toys and then it goes into
yeah,
tech. I feel like it depends so much more on the other side. The application is what makes it easier to expand.
because you're saying we need to get like the younger generation on board because this is going to be tech for their future. But like the younger generation doesn't have a job. They're not going to want to collaborate with their classmates on a on a volcano. You know what I mean? So like if you get them
No,
on the
but
ground
what
floor,
you in college? You in college though?
I
First
mean, I
piece,
don't know. I feel
first
like
PC
that's
I
too late
got
by
was
then.
for college.
I
A
mean, but
lot of
also, don't you need a VR headset?
Yeah,
oh,
and
but
there's
see,
that barrier to entry too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
this
like,
is this is the other
yeah.
stuff where I'm just here like y'all are leaning too hard into technology that's not even affordable to begin with, and the
Hmm.
people who
Right.
want to
That
use
part.
it, you
That
know,
part.
it's just too many different demographics. Should have got like, I've worked with older people and they're like, we like pen and paper, right? I've worked with
Yeah.
younger kids and they're like, no, I don't want a headset. That's just weird.
I technically
So
feel like like the metaverse should have stayed in the planning phase until it got to the point where VR headsets and the VR application was more like widespread. Like if you did that, then if metaverse from with people who use their headsets like relatively consistently,
Hmm.
now you have like an avenue that people can go, oh, okay, well, I already have what I need. Now it's just the application or running the application of the metaverse. Like, but now you have people who you're like, oh, well, I want to show you what this metaverse is like, and be like, oh, okay, well, how do I get there? All right, well, you got to buy a PC, you got to buy a system, you got to
$300 to
buy
$1,000 headset.
right, and no one's gonna do that right now. Like, no one,
no,
people
no.
were losing their jobs.
Like
Like,
it's that age old sort of cart before the horse type situation.
right,
Yeah,
right,
But
right,
on one
right,
hand, it's like, okay, we can't develop the technology that's going to make use of these headsets until we can justify
yeah.
until we can justify selling the headsets. But no one's going to buy the headsets until that technology exists.
right.
So
Chicken or
there's
egg.
no way to start this process.
Right,
Almost.
chicken or egg. Yeah.
So like, yeah, it's really tough. And honestly, I feel for the people who are like, this is a great idea, and I'm going to put everything I have into it only for it to fall flat because
Yeah.
like it's kind of this drastic unknown. But like at some point, we're definitely going to be living at least part of our lives in some sort of virtual space. Like I
Well,
know
we
that
are.
it's coming, right?
You thinking I'll be in that nursing home?
Oh,
Look,
absolutely. Oh,
I'll be in
yes.
the
absolutely.
If
I'll
I
be in the
make it to
Vegas
retirement,
sphere.
like
Yeah.
why be why be in the real world ever again?
Bro, we all gonna be in Sword Art Online, like in our 80s, like laying the freaking VR thing on. Like, hey man, haven't seen you in a long
See,
time, bro.
that's real interesting because I feel like if anybody could pull this off, it would have to be a country that is a technological powerhouse that still has these like social spaces. So like Japan, because
I was about
they
to say
still be keeping
Japan.
arcades up and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Here
Are
we have like this one studio just opened up where they have like all this VR stuff, but ain't nobody go there. Oh,
oh, it's
nobody.
what, Sandbox VR or whatever?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
Sandbox has actually been pretty has been making their way around, man. Like they've been popping up everywhere now.
you know, so like if it does happen, there's just so many factors that you really have to close up. You have to
Hmm.
like affordability, sure, but also just like how it fits into your society. Because I
Right.
feel like if you have this place that you walk into, like an arcade, but instead of arcades and all that stuff, it's VR headsets. That starts to become more ingrained into your culture.
Right.
Whereas right now, you still got people, saying like, "Oh, these kids always be on their phones." Like man, let me tell you this, all right? Growing up religious, the idea of having this headset that you tap into and that's your life, that is so satanic to like
Right.
old school religious
For
people. There were literal
real.
movies where the devil comes back, the Antichrist takes
For
over
real.
these headsets. Like they're still like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Like
It's tough sell.
it's just
It is a tough sell.
it's just
But yeah, any final thoughts on this before we wrap up? I know we went a little long today, but that's just because we were having a great conversation.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to you guys, man. Like I love talking to y'all. Y'all have me.
Yeah, man. Thank you for coming through.
good time.
Yeah, this
Made
is
a
a
life
good
going.
this is a great conversation.
So I guess we'll go ahead and end things there. Frost, where can folks find you? What do you have coming up that they can check out?
We got here Escapist Magazine, gonna be doing newly released with Amy at 2 p.m. CT. We're gonna be doing Paleo Pines, I believe, a little like Stardew Valley but dinos. Oh yeah, that's it, that's the stuff
Okay.
on a Sunday. There you go.
Yes,
Nice.
sir.
And Justin, Roninja23, where can
Yes,
folks
sir.
find you? What do you have coming up that they can check out?
You can find us anywhere at Rusty Rupees or on X / I guess Twitter.
I'm never calling it X, so it's not gonna do
At Rusty Rupees with two Y's. So technically tonight we actually have the Sunday Streets at 7 o'clock. So please come through for that if you can. Please check out our Discord, Rusty Rupees. And we have a link tree and a link on our on Twitter that has like everything, our socials and things like that. But pretty much everywhere, Rusty Rupees. And we stream every day, Monday through Sunday. So please come to that, twitch.tv/Rusty Rupees. And yeah, there are, like I said, there are 4 of us, so you will pretty much see a different face and a different game every day. It's a good time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming through. Sorry, I'm gonna post your link tree in the chat for folks to follow.
Oh, preach.
Where he go? Where he go?
So yeah, you guys make sure you're following these dudes. We will be having Justin as well as some of the other guys from the Rusty Rupees joining us at some point in the future, I hope, because they're great. Like they're awesome. I met them out in Cali when I went to do the Psy Games event for
Yes, sir.
crap. I'm forgetting what their game was even called. Grand Blue Fantasy.
Grand Blue, yeah. Grand Blue, Ring Lincoln versus.
Yeah, so like we were out there chatting it up and whatever. So I'm really glad to have you finally on the show, and hopefully this won't be the last time. We'll love to have you in the future.
It better not be. I will find you.
I got
It
y'all.
better
I
not
got
be.
you guys.
We'll get Darren on next time for sure.
Yeah, we will. But as for me, you can find me at Sigma Gears 9 on Twitch, Twitter, not X. Sorry, you screwed me up. I didn't want to call it Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, all that stuff. I'm trying to think. We have a new episode of Adventure is Nigh for members. It just dropped yesterday. Apparently, it's blown people's minds. Like I thought it was great, but folks are like, "This is the greatest internet TV show I've ever seen in my life. Their words, not mine, but I co-sign because I'm in it. But yeah, check that out if you haven't already. I should have a review dropping on Escapist for Cocoon soon, as well as that Hellboy game that should be dropping soon as well, unless something drastically changes because they pushed it back from its original date for reasons. So make of that what you will.
I forgot about that Hellboy game.
Aside of that, all the regular streams over on Escapist as well. I'll be back with Hidden Gems on Monday with Jesse. Jesse and I will be starting a new game for our Get Jesse to the series. He'll be playing Kerbal Space Program so we can learn about physics, etc. And we'll be doing the Assassin's Creed 4 history quiz at the start of that as well. Hey. Marty and I will be starting our Devil May Cry series playthrough because we just finished up all the Portal 2 co-op. And later today, Jeff is not available. So Super Smash Sunday, I will still be doing it on the Open Party channel, but we may start about an hour late. Like there's some other stuff that I'm going to get into, and I don't want to do the whole 3 hours solo. So like I'll start an hour later, but we'll still do Super Smash Sunday over in the Open Party channel. Come through, get your King of the Hill matches in, and let's have a good time.
Yes.
Oh look, is that Darren in chat? Rusty Roofies cries in dead phone.
Oh, that is definitely him. That is what did I tell you? I told you. I said his phone is dead. I absolutely was like, I called my boy. I don't know if it's my phone or his phone, but something ain't right here.
It's unfortunate. Darren was supposed to be on the show with us today as well, but we will get you back in the future. Do not worry, bro. There will be a next time. I promise.
Yeah, I had a great time with the boys. I'm just letting you know, Duran.
You gonna run into Darren's face.
We had great conversations here.
Wild.
Oh man. But yeah, I definitely appreciate chat, everyone for coming through, hanging out. For Justin, our newest guest, Frost as usual. We'll see you all at some point in the future. Everyone take care. Peace.
Yes, sir.